I invite you to come to mountain pose with your feet hip width apart and just take a long, deep breath into your body. And just sort of notice where that goes and then let it out. And then take another left down. Let's just inhale and roll our shoulders back and lift our chest. Bring your hands below your lower back and just gently press the hips forward. Inhaling. And as you exhale, slowly forward, fold forward, hands on your thighs, and just allow your whole body to come to a place that you can just sort of rest against some limitation that you might encounter. And then bring that next inhalation, come up, roll your shoulders back. Again, a slow movement with a deep inhalation and just sort of come to an edge. And then exhale, fold forward. Again, just sort of softening the knees, feeling into all the places that need tender, loving care, sort of to kiss them almost. And then inhale, press into your feet, come all the way back up to mountain, and take a nice deep breath. Ah, and let's roll our shoulders a little bit more. Bend those elbows, extend the arms. Again, just a gentle warming up of the body, working through the shoulder joint. Slow movements, deep breathing. And then just let it go in the other direction. Again, be gentle and slow. Be curious about what you find. And this is make sure you're pressing into your feet, your lower body is engaged, your breath is long and eat big, and just enjoy movement. And then release your arms down and take a nice deep breath. And then let's step our feet out just a little bit with our feet. Mine are slightly turned out. Soften the knees and just gently twist from side to side. And I start going slow. This is the beginning movement. So you're slowly moving. And hands or knees are soft from one direction to another. Breathing in and out of your nose. And then come back to the center, bring your feet back together. Let's take a long, deep breath of just letting go. Coming into our bodies. And then take another deep breath, the ground. Lengthen through your head. And as you exhale, feel that weight coming through the bottom of your feet. And then take another long, deep breath in. And we'll shift all the weight to our right foot, bend the left knee, and just allow that left foot to slowly either bring your toe to the ground and trace back and forth, or if you've got a stool or something you can put your hand on, or the wall, just to let the leg flow free, just to warm the hip up, relax the foot, and then perhaps just bring it out to the side, again, warming the hip joint up, breathing, and then take a circle with the foot in one direction, go in the other direction. Again, tracing the toe on the ground is a wonderful way to do it because we're just really working on warming up the hip joint, saying good morning with kindness and tenderness and love. Beautiful. Bring your foot down and take a nice deep breath. Again, to let go of any tension you may have put in your body through that activity. And take a moment to next breath just to be here. Feel the feet on your feet pressing into the floor, the body active in a strong standing mountain. Feel the atmosphere around you. Notice if there are any sounds, any smells. Just being fully present to the beauty of this day, of this gift that is life. And then shift all the way to your left foot and let that right foot just sort of play to flow freely and sort of be present to your face, your arms, your shoulders. I mean, if we don't put any tension in our body when we're doing something, we don't have to worry about trying to release it and become mindful again. So, as you're doing an activity, notice what you're feeling in your jaw, in your arms, as we just gently warm the hip up and then allow the foot to go back and forth. Now, if you're really moving fast or making a big movement, you notice the difference between making a slow and easy movement and making a big movement, perhaps in your jaw or your face or your shoulders, wherever you hold tension. Again, again, it's that fine edge we were talking about as we discussed before we began. The not too much, the not too little. How do we live on that tightrope? And then take a little circle one direction. Of course, your left leg needs to be fully engaged, right? Your core is engaged to be able to support yourself as you switch directions or even make this movement. But notice your heart beating because this is activity, and then release your foot and take a nice deep breath. Again, just to be curious about what you might need to release that you took on with that activity, becoming fully present. And then just really taking a moment to savor love and community and the fact that we are all each other's neighbors. Bending your knees gently. Let's rotate our hips. So I've got my feet hip width apart. My feet are slightly turned out. My hands are on my hips. And then slowly rotate like you're just warming the hips up, like you're inside a barrel. And then go in the other direction. Breathing fully and completely. Excellent. Can bring back feet back together and just take a moment again to ground and center. Excellent. Okay, from here, we're going to gently move into just a real sort of slow sun salutation, because it's a wonderful practice to warm up everything. And if we do it really slow, it won't be that bad. So let's come to the front of the mat. And with your feet hip width apart, bring your hands to your heart and just sweep your arms back because we've warmed the shoulders up, reaching to the ceiling. We've done a little back bend, so just press your feet forward, your hips forward a little bit. And then jump slowly, hinge forward like we just did in the forward bend, softening the knees and being curious about where you might arrive. We're going breathing fully and completely. Come to a place where you can go further. Inhale, back up to neutral spine. And then let's exhale. And I'm going to invite you to step back with your right foot, with that right foot to like a 30-degree angle. With your left knee over your left ankle, slowly come up. Bring your arms up. Pushing down and forward, down and back. Wrap your core muscles around your pelvis. And take a moment just to breathe here. And we're going to fold forward. And instead of going down on the ground, we're going to bring that right foot back up. We're going to hinge at the waist and slowly fold down, and then press into your feet and sweep your arms all the way up again. Bring your hands to your heart and take a deep breath. So a sort of abbreviated sun salutation. And then inhaling your arms up, hips forward, hinge again with a neutral spine. Then fold forward. Inhale back up to a neutral spine. And then bend your knees and step back with the left foot this time with a 30-degree angle. Right knee over the right ankle, pushing down and forward. Lift the chest. Bring your arms up. And just take a moment to settle in here. Sensing into the shape you've created, breathing into it. Notice if you're holding tension anywhere, soften your face, relax your shoulders. Beautiful. And then we're going to fold forward and bring that back foot to front, hinge at the waist, go down with a neutral spine. If you'd like to fold forward, great. But let's all press into our feet, sweep the arms up, hips forward, hands to your heart, and take a nice deep breath. Excellent. Now, I'd mentioned in the email that I was hoping that you might have a couple of blocks or a couple of tall cans of beans, because if we're talking that love is a bridge that leads, love is a bridge. Props are a bridge to be able to help us do things to make progress from one place to another in a pose. So I'm going to bring mine too handy so we can sort of work with those. But we're first going to start out with triangle. And I'm going to grab one block to start. So with our feet hip width apart, even a book would do. If you got one of those big books, that you put a rubber band around, that would work too. But bending your knees, separate your feet out, and we're going to move into triangle by gently bringing our left foot toward the wall, our right heel back. And we're going to do this with a straight leg. So bringing the arms up, I'm going to invite you to reach out and then slowly hinge it the way. Oh, first, let's see that arm that's up, that right arm up. Bring it behind your shoulder. We're going to first work to sort of keep the shoulder back. So keep the right shoulder back and then slowly hinge at the waist. Now, I'm using the strength of my lower body to help support me. And there's a place when that block comes down. And then I can, instead of putting any weight on my knee or my leg, I can put it on the block. So gently come into triangle, leaning to the left. Make sure the knees, you've got it's neutral, it's not hyperextended, it's not bent. You've got your knee muscles are active around the knee. That helps strengthen the knee. And slowly let the side of your body lengthen. And I'm really putting a lot of weight in this block. Remember when we're talking about when we use props, if we put a lot of weight in the block, then the muscles don't have to hold us up so much and they can relax and maybe you can stretch a little bit more. So that's sort of what we're doing with the prop. Beautiful. So this is something that you can use on your own, whether I'm using it or not. Beautiful. Now press into your block, come all the way back up, take a deep breath. So now we're going to leave that right arm up. So here I've got my block strategically situated. So I'm going to come down once more. So my shoulder knows where it needs to be back. So make sure you're pulling it back. You can bring your arm between your knee and your hip bone or on the calf between the knee and the ankle. But again, come to a place which I'm getting to work toward my block again. Just bringing my shoulder into this, found that I needed to be tender and loving to the right side of my body a little bit more. But I finally make it to my block. And I'm breathing and just gently supporting myself as gravity gently draws me toward the earth, where I can consider how love is the bridge that leads from the I sense to the we. So not just about me, but about all of us, and that's how there's a paradox about personal love. As we love another individual, this sort of opens a relationship between our personalities, which is the me, and the rest of the world. So as we love ourselves, we can love everyone, we can love our neighbor, and we can remember that our neighbor is truly everyone. Beautiful. Come up, bring your feet parallel, step back together. Again, take a nice deep breath just to process what you've experienced. Considering how that's always an opportunity to take a breath wherever you are in your day to process what you've just experienced. Perhaps let go of anything that needs to be let go of. And then take a next breath just to be present to the gift that is life. And then this next breath, just to be curious about what comes next. And so let's take the block up in the other hand. So again, separating our feet out, take that right foot toward the wall, the left heel back. Again, the knees in neutral, left hand, sorry, behind your back. Bring your right arm up, reaching out, knees soft, just slowly lean to the right. Keep that left shoulder back. So I guess I could put the block on my leg since it's not anywhere close to the ground yet. And you may not get the block on the ground. So if you need to bring your elbow or your forearm between your knee and your hip, close to your hip bone, we want to keep it away from the knee. That could be a good way to support yourself. That's a bridge. Or if you get to a place where you can use that prop, so really bring the weight of your upper body here so you can really work to keep the left shoulder back, keep the stretch. So can feel it in your left hip, the left side, this left shoulder. Again, working on alignment, breathing, and it's not about accomplishing, it's about meeting yourself where you are in love. Because love is the bridge between you and everything. So how can we have these little bridges to support us in that journey? Beautiful. Pressing to your right foot and come up and take a nice deep breath. And again, this time, bring that left arm up because now we're going to, if you want to, you can keep that arm behind your back, your hand behind your back too. But here's another opportunity to slowly, and when I bring my shoulder into the mix, I don't go right back to where I was. We have other places we need to be kind and gentle to. And gently allow that to slowly deepen this. Breathing. We're considering how love alone can unite living beings so as to complete and fulfill them. So love can unite us so we can be completed and fulfilled. So just allow that to be perhaps our foundation. Beautiful. Come all the way up, bring your feet together, and take a nice deep breath. Okay, so now using this block, we're going to do a forward bend with a straight leg as well. So feet are hip width together. Step forward on your left foot. Right foot's back at a 45-degree angles. Get nice and tall. Roll your shoulders back and gently hinge at the waist. And again, this could be something that you bring your hands to your thigh, but not on the knee, close to the hip, and slowly support yourself. But when you do that, your legs are still carrying the weight of your body. So if you happen to have two blocks, for example, when you slowly, body allowed you to get to a certain place, you could allow those blocks to help support you, working with a neutral spine, shoulder blades together, hinging at the waist, not needing to be in a hurry. No, if you have thoughts that you don't need shoulds or woulds or whatever's, let those go. We want to just sort of meet whatever arises with kindness and gentleness. Taking long, deep breaths. Sort of saying how the nice thing about blocks is that as your body invites you in deeper, you can actually flip those to where they're not so high. They can still support you by pushing down and forward into them as you're lengthening. But as you take long, deep breaths and your whole body starts to relax, they can continue to be flipped down to support you and become bridges for you to move more deeply in the body. And of course, if you're still up here being kind and gentle with whatever you've met, then you've truly had a successful yoga practice. Again, meet yourself where you are and practice being kind and gentle and loving. Beautiful. Press into your hands, bring your spine neutral, parallel with the floor, and then let's bend that front knee, come all the way back up so we can do the other side. Forward with the right foot this time, back foot to 30 degrees, roll your shoulders back. And then once more, I'm just going to just sort of gently rest these here, knees in neutral, and just gently hinge forward. I guess I could strategically leave my blocks down here, bring my hands to my hips, and just be curious if I ever get close enough to be able to put my hands on them. Again, doesn't really matter one way or another, but just to breathe and sort of feel those muscle fibers slowly releasing as gravity gently draws you to the earth. And then, fortunately for me, when it got to be uncomfortable, I had these blocks to really put my weight of my upper body into. So breathe and take a nice deep relaxation because the legs, I'm not having to use the legs to help support me as much because my arms are helping. This is also working on upper body strength. But find those places from your hip to your heel in your leg. And I know you're feeling more than one of them. And just gently, if they're really feeling uncomfortable, press into your hands and come up a little bit. And just sort of like a feather on the breath of God, just sort of lean into them and hover. Take long, deep breaths. Let go of any expectations or judgments. And I'm finding on my right leg, this is as far as I'm going. So to recognize that it's like that we're talking about balance earlier. So finding the places in our body that perhaps we need to spend more time in one place or another to help bring the body to balance. Again, if you do these things long enough, you will make progress. So you have a choice. You work with a pose for a long period of time or do a little bit every day. Let's go ahead and come out of this, come back up to a neutral spine, and then bend the knee, and then push down and forward, come back and take a nice deep breath. Okay, here we go again. This time let's step out. Feet are parallel, knees are soft. And once more, I'm going to strategically place these here. So we can bring our hands to our thighs and slowly fold forward. And just taking some nice long breaths and perhaps considering how love is the ultimate reality and our purpose on earth, our foundation. So to be consciously aware of this, to be able to experience love in ourselves and others is the meaning of life. So to be able to experience patience and kindness and gentleness with everyone we come in contact with, be able to practice that on ourselves if we get frustrated or there's something about somebody else that annoys us, which is, of course, is in us and needs to be healed. So many opportunities to grow in love. Okay, so I've gotten close enough down to where I can put my hands on the blocks. I'm going to invite you to gently work with that. So when you put your weight into the blocks, notice if that releases the legs to help slowly invite you in deeper to deepen this. Because then we're going to move to a side lunge. So bring your left heel in about 30 degrees, bend your left knee over the left ankle, walk your blocks over there, and then gently come into a side stretch. You may find that you can extend the distance between the heel or both feet, but just gently pushing down and forward, hinge at the waist. Explore this, breathe into it, and then press into your hands and come up. Bring the left foot parallel with the right. Let's walk the blocks all the way over to the right. Bring that right heel in, right knee over the ankle, and slowly fold forward again, pushing down and forward with the blocks. Hinging at the waist. Coming into the side lunge, breathing. And then walk your blocks back to the center, hinge at the waist, and come all the way down. Beautiful. To come out of this, I'm going to bring the blocks up and make sure my feet are parallel and hip width apart. Activate the lower body, and then hinge up at the waist. Bring both feet together and take a nice deep breath. Excellent. Okay. Now let's work with a one-leg balance and tree pose. So with your right foot, bring all the way to it. Roll your shoulders back. Bend that left knee. Take a moment just to breathe. Turn your knee out and bring your hands to your heart. And this time, I'm going to advise to keep our hands together since we warmed up our shoulders and just come straight up. Now, depending on how your balance is, you can keep your foot on the ball of your foot directly under your hip, or you could maybe bring that to your calf or the toe to the instep, anywhere between. But just gently reaching up through the hands, shoulder blades together in the back as you bring your palms together. Feel how that opens the chest, working in the balance. And if this is inaccessible with your hands together, just wherever you can bring your hands close together is good. Because if we fold forward a lot, then our chest is constricted, the muscles are smaller. So we're working to open the chest and strengthen the back by bringing our hands together. Beautiful. Let's come down and take a nice deep breath. Shifting the weight. Bend that right knee again, turn the knee out, hands at your heart. So just sort of play with how far can I go with my hands together. And if it's only this far, then we'll just stay here. Because as you're pressing your hands together, you feel that you're doing some isometric upper body strengthening. So that's another aspect of this. But just sort of play with how far can I go? And then play with what your balance is going to be. Gaze at something that's not moving. Breathe. And consider how love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend. And maybe that enemy isn't another person, but something within you that is just really not happy, that you can love to get to understand why that's really not happy and allow that insight to come forward. Again, let love be the foundation of our way of experiencing reality. Beautiful. Bring your hands back down, step your foot out, and take another nice deep breath. Now, we're going to do chair pose next, but a little different variety. I'm going to subtract, we'll do the old version and then we'll try another version. So with chair pose, with your feet hip width apart, I'm going to invite you to bring your arms up and then gently bend the knees and hinge forward a little bit. So like you're getting ready to sit down in a chair. So notice we've been working with the upper body. We're still working with the upper body and the lower body. So just gently lifting the chest, looking forward. So this is one way of doing chair. Breathe, and again, just let the body guide you into where you need to be. And again, only go so far as your body invites you to, where you are working with mild discomfort to help you strengthen. Let's come all the way up, release your arms down, and just return to mountain, which is a resting pose for standing poses. And take a long, deep breath in. Just releasing any discomfort. And then breathe, being here now with that next breath. And then opening to our next adventure with a different variety of chairs. With this chair, we're going to bring both feet together, bring the arms up overhead again. And now, with the legs together, bend your knees. Lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. Notice where you come to here. And just breathe in and out through your nose. Being curious where you may be invited to go. Long, deep breathing. Excellent. Release. Bring your hands down and take a nice deep breath. And now let's go to the mat. So I'm going to get there by softening my knees and hinging down. Take another opportunity to just get a nice long lengthening from my heels all the way to my hips, my sits bone. And then when you're about as far as you're going to get, bend your knees, come all the way to the mat. Let's just move into child's pose. Knees are together. Slowly let the hips sink toward the heels. Bring your hands down. You can bring your arms over your head or hands down by the side. And just take a moment to let your whole body float over your thighs and breathe. This is a wonderful, nourishing place for your brain as you're
Head is below your heart, and as you breathe deeply, you're bringing oxygenated blood into it to help it be sharp and crisp and clear. If you want to keep your head and your heart level, this is still very good for you because you're still got some compression against your trunk, which is massaging your internal organs as you breathe. So many different ways of loving ourselves by using props, right, as bridges to being able to love ourselves. Okay, now if this is okay with your knees, this is a great thigh stretcher by just rolling your shoulders back and coming on your hips. But if that's not accessible, well, let's just come out of it. And let's come to staff. And this is going to be a really active staff. So press into the thigh, calves, press into the hips, roll your shoulders back with your hands on your sides. Now, if your hands aren't touching the floor, everybody has different arms. Another really good reason for our blocks, again, to help support us so we can do that. My body just happens to be made to where my arms are the same distance to the floor. So, but flex your feet, press the calves, the hips into the mat, roll your shoulders back, and let's just take 5 breaths here. Just breathe in fully and completely. As you exhale, allow your body to soften. The upper body is, just sort of soften around the muscles that are holding you in place. Get a sense of how when you're working with staff in an active way, as a strength building, core is engaged, back is nice and erect. But at the same time, can our shoulders be relaxed and down and our face soft? Long breathing. Excellent. Okay, from here, I'm going to invite us to bend our knees and bring our elbows underneath our shoulders with our palms down, our forearms together. So we're just sort of like watching TV. I don't know if you've been watching TV like this lately, but remember when we did. So here we are, and we're just going to do a little leg lift. So activate the core, wrap your your core muscles around your pelvis, extend your left leg out, and just gently lift and lower. We're going to do this about 5 times. So I'm going to extend through the toes and then flex the foot and slowly come down. Extend through the toes, flex the foot and slowly come down. And just breathe and move, lifting and lowering, lifting and lowering, lifting and lowering. Excellent. So bend the knee. Let's switch to the other side, extending out, lifting, flexing the foot and lowering. Now notice how your core is engaged. You're still keeping the pelvis still. This is just a gentle act of awareness. So scan your face, wiggle your jaw, relax your shoulders, breathing evenly and completely, and then bend your knee and come down. Okay, so this is where we get to repeat. You can repeat the same thing, or you can bring both legs down, which is a little bit more challenging. And we're gonna activate the core, activate the legs, and lift that left leg again, extending and then flexing the foot as it comes down. Now, make sure you haven't lost your back. Press into your hands as well as the forearms. You don't want all that weight to be on your elbows. And you can notice when you do that, how this really helps build the upper body as well. Excellent. Switch legs. Again, extend through the foot, flex and draw down. Extending and flexing and drawing down. And if you need to bend your other knee at any time to do this, you found you've gone too far, well, by all means do that. Beautiful. Okay. Let's come all the way down on our backs with our hands down by our side and just take a nice long deep breath here. Allow your whole body to soften and just reflect on your experience. And now we're going to do a little twist. So bring your arms 90 degrees by your side. Bring each knee up. Bring the knees together. And let's gently bring the knees to the right as you look left, pressing into your left shoulder. Now your knees may or may not touch the floor. So this is where the core work comes in. So just press into that left shoulder. Allow gravity to work with the knees. Feel that nice lengthening in the twist on the left side of your body. Breathing. And let's just gently look up at the ceiling, bring the knees up and go in the other direction. This time the knees are to the left as you look right, pressing into your right shoulder. Again, allowing them to go wherever they need to go. Breathing, engaged core. Listening. Beautiful. Bring the knees all the way up. Bring both feet down with your hands by your side and take a nice deep breath. Now we're going to flip over and do some back strengthening. So gently come to a prone position. And the first thing we're going to do is gently come on one ear with your arms down by your side. And let's just make this transition, allowing your whole body to be heavy on the mat. Just take a long, deep breath. Sort of scan the body. Notice those places that feel comfortable or the ones that maybe need slight tweaks or adjustments, but comfortable just to be heavy here. Is we're going to do Cobra next, and that's a back bend without, again, not using our arms to help us with this, but mostly our core muscles. So to do this, bring your left hand up and your right hand up and bring them directly underneath your shoulders. Bring your legs parallel with the tops of the foot on the floor, and feet on the floor, and then roll your shoulders, activate the core, and just lift your chest with your core muscles. Now, the weight in my hands are the weight of my arms. I'm not pushing into the floor. So just gently work with what you can to lift as far as you can. Now, if you need to push a little into the floor, again, the hands are the props like bridges. Do a little to slowly give your core muscles a chance to strengthen as you gently hold this position. Breathing and being curious that when you really get the legs active and the core engaged, just, where will your body go in the Cobra? Again, with not a lot of weight in the hands. Beautiful. Come down to the mat with one ear on the mat. Bring your hands by your side and take a long, deep breath here. And here I'm going to invite you to really focus on your lower back and breathe into it, because we're doing a counter pose with our breath. We've just done a back bend. So we want to soften all the muscles that we strengthened. So as you breathe in, your belly is compressed in the front, so the breath goes to the lower back. Feel that lower back expanding with the inhalation, softening with the exhalation. Okay, so now we're going to do this again. So bring your hands underneath the shoulders, activate the legs, the core, roll your shoulders back, and using your core muscles, lift your chest, relax your shoulders down, and just be curious about where you can hold. If you start to weaken, you can press a little bit more into the hands. But again, this is an internal journey. You're working to love yourself into strength and flexibility. So how are you working with this? So make this a conscious, joyful practice. Like, oh, I can do this today. I wonder what I can do tomorrow. Beautiful. Let's release whatever area you were on last time. Move to the other, because we're working with the neck as well. And just let your whole body be heavy. And once more, bring the focus to your lower back to breathe into it, to help it expand on the inhalation and soften on the exhalation. Now, if your lower back is still feeling a little compressed, you can always move into child's pose, because forward bends always counteract back bends. So it's a question of being able to Low with your body. Can I release my lower back by breathing, or do I need to go into a deep forward bend? Okay, so let's all go to child pose if you haven't, because we're going to do locust next, and which is more a lower back work. Okay, looking up, slide forward, coming down with your arms by your side with the palms on the floor, looking straight at the mat. We're going to lift that left knee about an inch, extend out, and then lift the leg, pressing into your hip. Now, at this point, press into the inside of the elbows as well to help bring flexibility to the upper body. And as you're pressing into the elbows and into your left hip, lift the left leg even higher. Rotate the knee inward and breathe. So your palms are pressing on the floor, the elbows are pressing toward the mat. You're looking straight, wiggle your jaw, reach through the leg, lift a little bit more. Beautiful, switch sides. Again, lift that right leg about an inch, reach out, and then as you press the inside of the elbows down, press into the right hip and lift that right leg. Breathing. I like to look straight at the mat. You could come on your chin if you don't put any pressure on that, but I think that puts some compression on the neck. So I'm keeping my head heavy, looking straight at the mat, reaching out. Beautiful. Let's come down, flip over, rest one ear on the mat, and just take a breath here. Let your whole body soften. Once more, we're breathing into our lower back. If you would feel comfortable for you to come into child's pose to offset that, please do. In listening to your body for guidance. And then let's come all the way back because we're going to do we're going to invite you to full locust this time. And that's where you're looking straight at the mat. You activate your core and energize the legs and lift the knees up, both legs up, knees up about an inch, reach out, and then press into your hips as you press into the inside of the elbows. Rotating the knees inward, breathing. Beautiful. Let's release and do a forward bend. This time, let's come to a seated position. Just bringing one ankle in front of the other. Taking a long, deep breath here. Breathing. So I also mentioned in the email about having a strap handy. So let's do a little forward bending to offset those back bends with our strap. Bringing your right foot forward. I mean, you don't really need to use a strap, but just like the blocks, they're a bridge, right? To help us move more deeply within. So find the center of your strap. Bring it on the ball of your right foot. Wrap the strap around your hands and sort of wiggle in. Make sure you're on your sits bones. Gently rotate your chest toward that front leg. Roll your shoulders back and just gently lead with your heart. Taking a long, deep breath and considering how to love for the sake of being loved is human, but to love for the sake of loving is angelic. So lengthening through the top of the head, relaxing your shoulders, softening your face. Taking a long, deep breath. And then allowing the strap to help support you. So I'm finding that as my body starts to release, I can lift my chest. I'm not pulling on the strap, I'm holding onto it. Notice there's a subtle difference there. So I'm gently holding my body in place. So check that out to make sure your face is soft, your shoulders are relaxed. Your breath is long and easy. And just be curious about where your body invites you to go. If you continue to work with a neutral spine, you're going to help keep your back safe. Beautiful. Release. And take a long, deep breath. And let's move to the other side. And extending your left leg out this time. Wrapping the strap. Again, get nice and tall. Rotate. Flex the foot. And just gently lead with your heart. Breathing in and out of your nose, remembering that love is the bridge that leads between you and everything. So allow this strap to sort of be a bridge, this prop. Help support you wherever you are. And then you can just soften all around the face, the shoulders. As you press into your seat, roll your shoulders back. Keep the spine in neutral, shoulder blades together. But take a long, deep breath into this posture you're working with. Where can you soften? Again, feeling that gentle strength. Noticing how the body slowly lengthens and opens and invites you in deeper. Beautiful. Let's release and take a nice deep breath here. And putting the strap aside, I'm going to invite us to come to diamond pose with our feet hip width apart, grasping the above the ankles, roll your shoulders back and just gently leaning forward, taking a long, deep breath in, sort of allowing your body to ease into a place that's just right. I'm still working with a neutral spine, soft face. And then I'm going to invite us all to release here, come up and take a nice deep breath. And then come with our feet hip width apart. And we're going to work with the boat here for just a moment. Bring your hands behind your hips. Let's just lift both feet up. So a good way to start this is just to bring your hands underneath your knees to help hold your knees up, roll your shoulders back, and just hang out in boat. So this is a gentle core work. Notice where you can soften your face, soften your feet. If this is easy for you, then you can let go of your legs and bring the arms up. And that really gets your core engaged. So notice whenever that becomes too much of a stretch, then just hold on to your knees and relax. So that would help be the bridge that makes this perhaps more accessible to help strengthen, to release or to hold, to go between those two places to help build the strength in both. But this is excellent. So come all the way up again and take a nice deep breath. And we're going to do a twist here by bending the left knee, bringing the outside of the left foot on the outside of the right knee with your left hand behind you. Flex your right foot, get nice and tall and gently twist toward the side. Excuse me. Lengthening through the top of the head, looking over your shoulder. Breathing fully and completely. And then release, come forward. Take a moment just to pause in staff pose. Exhale and release. And let's bend the right knee. Bring the outside of the right foot on the outside of the left knee. Right hand behind you. Get nice and tall. And gently twist toward your thigh again. Lengthening through the top of the head. Relaxing the shoulders down. Softening the face. Breathing in and out through your nose. Beautiful. Release. Bring both feet forward. Again, taking a moment just to center and staff. And let's bring our Feet up, slide our hips down, roll our shoulders back. Come to our backs with our hands by our sides and take a long, deep breath in. Softening your face, relaxing your shoulders, allow your whole body just to melt upon the mat. Feel all the support of the floor below you. Feel how your breath flows through your body. And with each breath, sort of like a pebble dropped into a pool, you sort of feel the waves of that breath flowing through the body, coming to a place of stillness. And from here, I'm going to invite us to move into bridge pose. As love is a bridge, let's practice being a bridge. So feet are hip width apart, pressing into the inside of the feet, arms down by your sides, tuck your chin, and gently bring your navel to your spine, tilt your pelvis towards you. And with your core muscles wrapped around your pelvis, push down and forward into the arms, and push down and forward the feet and your arms. Lift the hips to come into bridge. Now, it's a great idea. This is a fine place to be, just stay in half bridge. If you'd like to go into full bridge, I'm going to invite you to bring the weight to your right shoulder and bring your left arm underneath you, and then bring the weight to your left shoulder, bring your right arm underneath you, interlace your hands, or else just you want to bring your hands below your body so that you push down and forward and come up into a full bridge. And interlacing my hands underneath my hip and pressing into my arms is giving me the support to be able to push down and forward and move a little bit deeper into full bridge. But again, if this is inaccessible, we want to start with just working with half bridge and perhaps leaving your arms by your side and not needing to bring them underneath your body. But again, this is an opportunity to play with both ways and see where you're invited to go. Beautiful. Let's release our arms by our sides. If you're in full bridge, come to neutral, half bridge, and then slowly come all the way down to the mat. Release everything and take a nice deep breath. To counterpose that, let's bring our left foot up and point it and flex it and point it and flex it. Rotate the ankle in each direction. Bring your hands behind your leg. Just draw your leg towards you. Bend the knee, tuck your chin, and slowly draw that left thigh to your side in a loving embrace. When you've arrived here, allow that next exhalation to soften your whole body. And again, allow that breath to ripple through your body. Sort of feeling every breath, every ripple, the whole body softens just a little bit more. And then curl your right toes up, slide the right heel out. Again, it's the balance we were talking about, the strength and the activity of the right leg, the softness and the gentleness on the left side. Work on that balance and all that we do, that gentle strength. And bring your left foot down, bring your right knee up, and take a nice deep breath. Bring the left foot up, pointing and flexing and pointing and flexing. Rotate the ankle in one direction, rotate the ankle in the other direction. And then gently bring your hands behind the leg and draw the leg towards you. Bend the knee, tuck your chin, and gently draw that right thigh. And to your right side with long, deep breaths until you come to a place of rest where you can soften just a little bit more. Perhaps wiggle, make micro adjustments. Wiggle the feet, relax the shoulder, wiggle the jaw. Again, come to a place where that breath can ripple through the body, softening with each new ring as a stone in a pond would continue to move across the surface of water. And if you're ready, you can curl those left toes up, slide that left leg out, come into that balance, softness and strength. Let's release the right foot down, bend the left knee up. Bring both knees up, give yourself a big hug. Gently rock from side to side. So massage your back. Again, come to an easy rhythm. And allow that rhythm to translate to your body as you release your knees into your hands and bring them underneath your hips and feel that nice massage on your lower back. And then rotating the knees 360, massaging your lower back. We go in the other direction. And releasing both feet down. Let's take a long, deep breath here. And then gently let your feet slide down the mat, flip your hands over. Press into the upper shoulders to lift the chest, to bring your shoulder blades together, and then sink down one last time. And here I'm going to invite you to visualize with this next breath that you're just dropping a pebble into a pond. And as you feel each wave of breath flowing to your body, allow that ripple to soothe, to move out through your body with a cascading wave of softening and release, gentleness and kindness and love. And as that wave moves through your body, just for fun, imagine it's moving through the room you're in, sort of going to all four walls, the ceiling and the floor, three-dimensional or four-dimensional for bringing the time aspect in. Movement of kindness and gentleness and love to completely fill your home. And then let's allow that wave to fill your neighborhood, the people who live close by. And let's send that love and gentleness and kindness out into the city that you live in. And as those slow effects gently ripple, feel them flow all the way to the state you're in, to our beloved country, to our continent, to the rest of the world, and let it touch all that are there. Furry friends, feathered friends, watery finned friends, and all that is our neighbor, all of creation. Allow that kindness and gentleness truly for us to remember whose we are. So I invite you to bring this feeling of connection, this foundation of love into your day by taking a deep cleansing breath. Perhaps bring your arms over your head and reaching your fingertips toward the wall behind you, your toes in front of you. And then just letting everything go. Take another breath just to be here now, to savor this present moment. And then we'll take this third breath to invite us into the day so we can bend our knees, roll to our right sides, and just pause here, just so we can remember that love is the bridge between us and everything. And that we can bring kindness and gentleness and peacefulness and respect into everything we do, that it too has a ripple effect that moves through all God's creation. So I invite you to practice that today, allowing that to be your mindful yoga practice that you can take with you off the mat and into the life to make the world a better place. Thanks so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you next week.